What's going on there, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Craftavore Tastes, and today we're digging into a beer from Burley Oak Brewing Company out of Berlin, Maryland. This is their Peach Lassi Dream. Yeah, so super excited to dive into this beer. So if you don't know anything about the Dream series from Burley Oak, Dream actually stands for Juice Rules Everything Around Me. And that series is probably by far their most hyped, their most popular, and their most sought after beers that Burley Oak brews. And they are actually a series of fruited sours that's brewed with lactose. So I was actually super happy. I was recently in the Delaware Shore area, and the area where I was staying on vacation was only about a 25-minute drive to Burley Oak. So I hit it up. And much to my surprise, they still had the Peach Lassi Dream available even a day after its release, which is kind of unusual. Usually those beers sell out day of. But I'm super happy that I was able to pick up a 4-pack, so let's dive right into this review. Also picked up this pretty badass Burley Oak stemless glass. So to steal a line from Joe from Joe's Arcade, beer always tastes better in proper glassware. So let's go ahead and go through the drill. Let's pop a top on this guy, get it into a glass, and take a look at the appearance, get the aroma, taste it, and then, of course, we're going to rate it. All right, so let's go ahead and just pour this guy straight into the glass. All right, and as I mentioned previously, or didn't mention previously, Peach Lassi is a sour ale brewed with lactose. Brewed with peach, saffron, and cardamom, and coming in at 4%, 4.8% ABV. All right. So, beer pour is kind of like a really nice kind of medium glowed to orange kind of color. Obviously, getting a little bit of haze going on there. Nothing obviously too nuts or anything like that. Maybe about a quarter finger of head. Beer looks absolutely beautiful, specifically in this proper glassware. So let's go ahead and give ourselves an aroma. Oh, wow. Oh. So huge, tremendous blast of Indian spice. The cardamom is definitely coming to the forefront. You're even getting a nice kind of bit layer of almost like a freshly kind of chopped ginger going on there as well. I'm sure the saffron is in there somewhere because there's kind of like a note in here when you mix that cardamom and you mix kind of a bit of that ginger. There's almost kind of like a rice kind of component going on. And obviously I know that, saffron is kind of a big ingredient in rice, so saffron rice. And there is a little bit of that tendency, and I don't know if that's strictly based on the fact that my experience with aromas of saffron come from rice, that my brain is originally or immediately going there. But that's kind of what I get out of this. You do obviously get a little bit of kind of ripe kind of stone fruit going on as well. And naturally, of course, being a sour, you do kind of get a little bit of that sour kind of tang note going on in the aroma. It smells super unique, absolutely incredible. I dig Indian food, so this particular beer is kind of like straight up my alley. So this is awesome smelling. So let's go ahead and give her a taste. Cheers. So again, similar in the nose. The cardamom is definitely, for whatever particular reason, like the dominant flavor profile that you're getting out of this, along with, again, a nice amount of ginger. Ginger really kind of isn't really mentioned as it relates to, just the recipe itself. So I'm just kind of wondering whether or not, I don't know if it's an addition or it's just kind of a result of maybe that blend of the cardamom and the saffron and the peach together. I'm getting a bit of kind of ginger notes. But what's kind of cool is that obviously, it is a fruited sour, right? So you're getting a little bit of tartness. But midway through the palate, what you're getting from a tart perspective is almost kind of mellowed out from that lactose, which then kind of produces like a bit of almost kind of a vanilla finish, which is super interesting. So going back in for another taste. Man, I really dig that. Yeah, so again, tart up front, but not too biting, right? Like a sour, but not in the sense of like paint thinner or turpentine sour. It's not like that deep. Tremendous amount of stone fruit, cardamom, ginger, and then kind of rounded out with a bit of that lactose, a bit of creaminess, and kind of vanilla on the finish. Absolutely freaking awesome. So let's go ahead and give this one a rating. So, Burley Oaks Peach Lassi Dream. Straight up right now from the Craftavore Tastes, 4.5 caps. That's the rating I'm going to give it. I can easily see how that beer may not be rated as high from other people. I am rating it this high simply based on the fact that it is incredibly, incredibly balanced for a sour, if that makes sense, and it contains flavors and Indian spices, and reminds me obviously so much of Indian food, which I'm a huge fan of, that these are flavors that play for me. Like, I dig these flavors. So that's why I'm giving it a 4.5 caps. It's basically essentially a beer that I would love to have if I was crushing some super hot, Indian curry, maybe a Rogan Josh, or like a tikka masala or something of that nature. All right, so that'll do it for this episode of the Craftavore Taste. I'll hope you join me again for another episode where I drink, I review, I rate, and then I repeat. Cheers.